Let's get it. What's up, y'all? It's your man Barry Bonds, and this is another A&R report. And I just want to come to you guys on this Sunday so we can chit chat about something very serious. All right, testing my equipment out just to make sure it's working, and you know how it is. Especially if you're a content creator and you're out here as well, trying to make it right, trying to make it happen. But yeah, happy Sunday to everybody. Right now, I wanted to talk to you about something that I feel like is a super great opportunity. But I want to, you know what, I'll share that with you in a second. But, you know, I want to start off like this. Have you guys ever thought about the fact that a lot of the pomp and circumstance of hip hop, R&B, the music industry, pop culture has pretty much gone down over the years? Like, I grew up in the 90s, and me growing up in the 90s, it was a great time where I was able to enjoy and have a lot of heroes, like, you know, for one, Jodeci. And I watched these guys in their ascent to stardom and all of the theatrics that went with it, you know, from Devontae wilding out, Dalvin messing with T-Boz and their back and forth relationship. You know, it's been a lot. It's been a lot. Hold on right quick. Hello? Boy, tell you, they even call on the weekends. That's wild. But as I move this, hold on. What they say, we flying it, we making it while we fly it. Shout out to Kevin Samuels. Let me just scoop this back a little bit. Okay. All right. There we go. A little bit more room. Like I said, man, I'm out here trying to make it. You know what I'm saying? We making it. Hold on. All right, there we go. So yeah, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so pretty much what happened was we had a lot of people that were doing their thing back then, and they made my childhood very, very, very special, or that focus, very, very special. But you gotta understand is that we had all those superstars back then, all of that great music, we had all of that. Everything was so beautiful. And then the 2000s, and then the 2010s, and now the 2020s. Well, you know what happened in between that time? We started giving our talent away for ticket change. We started selling out our own artistry for popularity, likes, and all of the like, to those who are drug dealers who just happen to rap, to those thotty yachties who just happen to rap, and even in the companies, you know, even in the companies, think about it, the labels, they started hiring a whole bunch of DEI people, the A&R started taking bribes, started, you know, pretty much double dipping, conflict of interest here and there. They started production companies, and now they don't want to give any of the beats away unless you rapping with their using it for their artists. You know, all of these things brought in together to create what we have right now, which is a lackluster entertainment industry. And I'm gonna say entertainment because it's encompassing all, you know, even movies. You know, when was the last blockbuster movie for the summer? You know, they're all going to Netflix. You don't go to the movie theaters really anymore. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Ryan Coogler for Sinners. That was good, but the next week it was on Paramount or Netflix. It was on one of those. But we're missing that magic. And I think that the reason why most of our entertainment has gone very stale is because of these DEI hires that we have in these offices and these companies. Now, since we've given way to feminism and the LGBT, we're seeing a lot of DEI hires, those who really don't have the talent, really don't have the vision, the dopeness, the je ne sais quoi that is needed, to really create that magic that we were used to. They really don't have it. And I'm not just putting any one community out there, but I'm just saying is that this is what we gave way to. And it doesn't make sense because, us doing that has only hurt us and the artistry. It's hurt the music. It's hurt the movies. The award shows, whack. They're whack. You don't really see those monumental award shows like, say, the 95 Source Awards, shout out to Londale. You don't see that no more. You really don't. And it's really hurting the industry over the long run. It's hurting the industry. There's no excitement. There's no that you want to get in front of that TV. Think about Motown 25 back in the day. I remember I was in Detroit, Michigan, and I was at a family reunion when we watched Motown 25. And I mean, it was just so electric. The whole family was in front of that 32-inch TV back then. 32 inches. Yeah, very small. Whole family, whole room. And we watched Michael Jackson and Jackson 5 do their thing. We watched him sing Beat It and do the moonwalk for the first time. Magical. We don't have that. We don't have a Suzanne DePass anymore, who was just a teenager. It wasn't like she had master's degrees and doctorates and all this other stuff that they're requiring now to work in these areas like BET and all of this. No, they didn't have that. They just had pure talent, know-how, and they were students of the game. They knew what people wanted to see. Masters in marketing. They didn't have the degrees and all of that you gotta have. No. They were just dope individuals that made it happen, made magic happen. And right now, we don't have that. What we have people that are there just because they're, popular. I mean, I see more of these now A&R directors and, label execs on Instagram more taking pics of their outfit now. Or what they're eating, or all of this stuff with the little catchy captions. You're doing that doper than you do bringing out these artists. What is good? What's going on? Does that mean it's just a job? They just, give a bad bitch a job, huh? Or, what I'm saying, let me get this trendy dude, or, nah. That's why it is whack right now. The whole industry is stale. The music is stale. We don't know who or what a superstar looks like anymore because you got Lil so-and-so and young so-and-so and all of these cats that's coming out. You got all of these dudes that are just fly-by-night artists. That's what they are, fly-by-night artists. They come and go. Their music is recyclable. It's not good. You got all these chicks out here now dressing up butt naked pretty much, thinking that they can just rap. Now, I'll be honest with you. Some of them got some bars. I'm not going to be all the way up. I got to be objective, what I'm saying? But some of them got some bars, and some of them are writing better than the guys. But the imagery is the same. It needs a rebrand. Can't all be hoes. Can't all sell pussy, okay? If you think about it, that's probably why our young men are out here so sex thirsty, and all their music is just about smashing something. Every single song about smashing something. No stories. No life events other than jugging, selling drugs, children, nigga. No, man. It's whack. We need something new. We need fresh blood. We need fresh ideas. We need a rebrand all over the whole industry. You all can't be hoes. You all can't be super killer dudes, killer drug dealers. It's got to be somebody else in there. Y'all can't be crackheads, because a lot of y'all are crackheads. Y'all pop pills, take all kind of drugs and all of that, drinking lean, want to sit around looking. And then the new dudes, the little YNs, they also skinny, paper thin, all of them. What are y'all doing? How do y'all stay so thin? I mean, y'all should be talking about that, more than your raps. It's a whole bunch of fat folks out here want to know the secret. I'm trying to lose minds. How you do it? How you stay so paper thin? I mean, is it because y'all wearing a whole bunch of clothes in 90-degree weather with shiesties and skull caps and winter jackets in 90-degree weather? Is that how y'all doing it? Please tell me. Put it in the comments or something. But I mean, hey, I just want to let you guys know the industry is missing something. It's definitely missing something. We got to figure out what it is. These DEI hires need to be fired, because they're not bringing any magic. They're not bringing any vision to the industry. It's stale. That's you guys are bringing staleness. And then you're always trying to loop in the LGBT community. Now, I ain't got nothing against the LGBT community. I don't. But I'm saying we're not always trying to see that. You know what I'm saying? We're not trying to see that shit all the time. You guys make up 1% of the whole nation. So the other 99%, we ain't really trying to see that. We're not. We don't want to see two dudes kissing and doing all this stuff and whatever on these music videos and everything. I don't. I mean, if you guys are smart, if that's the way you want to go, that's the audience that you want to appeal to, do an exclusive version. Do a bonus version specifically for them. That's it. I just want to hear some good music. I'm sad, man. I'm sad because the music industry that I knew, the music that I grew up on, I don't recognize it anymore. And all you old dudes out here talking to these old artists and producers talking about some, well, I don't get on the kids. I don't tell the kids what to do, this and that, the other, because, I let them have bullshit, straight bullshit, okay? Because that this music is horrible. You know that this music is horrible. You definitely do. And it's up to us as carriers of the torch that's passing it down, that we have to do quality control to make sure that the legacy and the quality of the music is intact, that they're taking it to a better place. We have to. It's our responsibility. We can't just say, okay, just do it as you want to. I mean, it's just like business. The one who makes the millions or the one who creates the business passes it down to the second generation who will maintain it, down to the third generation who will lose it. No, we don't need that. We need to have the ones who create it pass it down to the ones who take care of it, make it even greater, down to the ones, the next generation that makes it even greater. Now, sponsorships, marketing, endorsements, branding, all of that has gotten better because now you guys are getting paid a lot of money to have done nothing really, with no track record, having not sold really any albums, only just being very popular on internet, on social media. That's it. But the DEI hires have to go. Now, I know I just wanted to go the long way just so that I could play this video. Let me go ahead and play it just so we can, start discussing the main topic. Here we go. Hold on. Let's do it like that. Here we go. All right. This is Lauren LaRosa. Shout out to the Breakfast Club. What up, Charlemagne? That's my guy. All right. Let's go. Here we go.
So Scott Mills sat down from BET, sat down with Gail Mitchell over at Billboard, and they had a conversation about BET's 45-year legacy.
He's the CEO of BET.
Yes,
right?
CEO of BET. Yes. They had a conversation about the legacy of 45 years of BET. Now, within the conversation, they talked about a ton of different things, but one of the major things that came out of this interview was we learned that the BET Hip Hop Awards and the BET Soul Train Awards are going to, or right now, are suspended. So Gail Mitchell asked Scott if he can confirm the chatter because there have been conversation about two of BET award shows, Soul Train and the Hip Hop Awards, no longer happening. So he says that, he wouldn't say that it's, not happening. He says that right now, as of right now, they are suspended. Basically, what they're trying to figure out at BET is how do they bring or do these award shows in a way where it fit where the media landscape is today, because it might not mean that the Hip Hop Awards or the Soul Train Awards have to be on linear TV. But he does say that they are not gone. I know yesterday, I saw a conversation around the awards being completely gone and canceled. Yeah. He says in this article, they are not going. They're just trying to find a way to rework it so that it fits where we are now. And when he says that, they had already previously had a conversation about like the other.
All right, let me stop her right there. So they're saying they're not going. All right, so this whole thing is pretty much dead. I'll be honest with you. It's pretty much dead because, to be honest with you, the BET Awards has been horrible 4 years. 4 years has been horrible. And it doesn't make sense to even bring it back. Let's not even pump life back into it. All right. Why? Why pump life back into it? It's gone. The BET Awards has been horrible for a long time. And you guys know that. You guys know that. And I don't understand why we should spend any more money or even any more time. I haven't watched the BET Awards probably in 3 years. It was probably the last time when Krishan Rock and who else? Somebody else was twerking in the alleyway, and they was pregnant. Sexy Red. Like, come on, man. What are we doing? What are we doing? We should be up in the ante, improving the presentation. Not just, well, how ratchet can we be? How ratchet can we be? Well, go ahead, Lauren.
Ventures that BET has. So whether it's BET Plus or, BET Digital, where do they put the award show so that they work out better? Now, she follows up this question with asking about the 2025 BET Awards, because this year's BET Awards went down. Although the show was amazing, the ratings were a lot lower than they were last year. So there have been conversation about the BET Awards being canceled as well, and because of the viewership. So she says viewership dropped almost 50% in a key demographic, which is 18 years old to 49 years old, from last year's show. She asked Scott Mills, does he have any concerns about the longevity of the BET Awards? And he says viewership was down, but the cable ecosystem is smaller, number one, than it was a year ago. And that's just the reality of it. But he also says that a lot of it has to do with the fact that last year they changed the BET Awards from the Sunday that it's always on to a Monday. Now, when that change was announced, people were confused because it's always on that certain Sunday. I think it's like the third Sunday in June. People were confused.
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It don't matter. The show is whack. Okay? So it doesn't matter. The show is whack. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm not a hater, but, I'm just giving you guys the raw facts about it. Let's go.
And people were wondering why. So I did some poking around yesterday to try and figure out, because he didn't answer the question as to why it was moved around. He just said that they were going to bring it back. They're going to take it back to the original Sunday. But the show was good. He gave big props to Connie Orlando. Said, they did an amazing job this year with the show, but we can't get around what happened. And from what I was told, the reason why it was moved around was because there was a huge sporting event that was happening at that time that they couldn't work, like they needed certain venues, and they used the JW Marriott Hotel and different venues, and they didn't have access to the things that they needed, so they had to move the day. I was confused about that because I'm like, a show as big as the BET Awards, I thought you would book out the venues you need for years at a time, probably. Right. Yeah. And what I was told was that sometimes people do that, but because, again, the landscape of things are changing every single day, it's hard to predict what will and what won't happen a year from now, 2 years from now. So
salute to Scott Mills, but I don't know why he's complicating this.
Now, if there was a complication as far as making sure that you could book the show and making sure that you can get the venue and solidify the venue. You know, if this show was making money, trust me, it wouldn't be no issue. It wouldn't be any issue. This show would go on, and you know, none would be the wiser. It was like, you know, hey, we got to make way. This has to happen. This right here, this show brings in money. This has to happen. This show brings in ratings. It has to happen. But no, the show's not bringing in any ratings. People aren't even watching it, not even replaying it. They aren't. They ain't even replaying it. You know, they replay it on BET 500,000 times along with Baby Boy. But I mean, it is what it is. It should be called the Tyler Perry channel. But go ahead, continue. Hold on. Continue.
People just aren't making no money.
Yeah.
Like that's just the moral of the story. The reality of the situation. None of these shows are making the money they need to be on. It's just that simple. If these shows were making money and if these shows were profitable, these shows it would be no question about none of these award shows. They'd be on.
Not only that, you know, you look at the hip hop awards, and if you don't have the top 5 hip hop artists coming to your show, and you're doing a hip hop award show, that kind of hurts as well, right?
Yeah.
Whoever your top 5 award, you know, your top 5 rappers are. If you don't have Kendrick performing or Drake performing or Future or Travis Scott or whoever the top 5 is that people say, if they're not at your hip hop award show.
Drake, Kendrick, Future, I'm tired of all of them. Like, we need some fresh blood out here, some real fresh energy. I'm tired of all of them dudes. I don't know about you. I'm all they ain't like us out. I'm all Drake out. I'm all Future out. Like, come on, man. Come on. Like, seriously. Drake has been running this for the past, almost 20 years. It's been like 15, 16 years. It might be 18 because I think it came out in 07 or 08. We in 25 now. So in 3 years, that'll be 20 years that this guy's been running it. Like, where's the competition? Okay, I know Kendrick came out, but man, Kendrick, I'm sorry, Kendrick, you're like Nas, bro. You're boring. You're boring. Really. Sorry. It is what it is. Keep going.
Show. It's kind of like, you know what I mean? You want to see that represented. And we've seen it represented. You know what I mean? We've seen Michael Jackson at these award shows when it was time for those award shows. We've seen Hove. We've seen Dre. We've seen Snoop. We've seen Nas. Like, we've seen T.I. We've seen our big celebrities.
Envy makes a great point because the reality of the situation is artists treat these award shows like they're disposable and they don't come to them, but they'll go to all the white award shows.
That's another fact right there. Now, you think about it. These white award shows have more viewers because fandom amongst white fans is very real and very serious. Now, you know, the raw facts is that the 70% of the fans for hip hop are white. All right. And when they're buying stuff, they're buying it out. They're buying, you know, records, physical records, their vinyl. They just got back into vinyl and, you know, concert tickets, you know, all of that. They're buying that. They're buying that out because they are real deal fans. That's why they go to these shows, because they know it's about to be a real deal situation. Now with us, we'll get up in the award show and we'll act so cool because we feel like we are the stars in the audience. You know, all of the people in Atlanta feel like they're the stars. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what's the use in being down there in Atlanta, you know, with the BET Awards or even LA? All right. They need to bring it back to New York, but we'll talk about that in a second.
That's why the white award shows still get the viewership, and that's why the white award shows still get the sponsorships, because they get the eyeballs. If the top artists came to these shows, they would get the eyeballs, and they'd still be getting the money. But if you do that for years, like they've been ignoring, you know, the BET Hip Hop Award and Soul Train Awards for years. If the top artists ignore those shows for years, eventually people stop watching, and the money dries up. It's not rocket science, people.
Yeah, you want to see your favorite artists. Your favorite artists are not there. The biggest artists are not there performing. You're less likely to watch it. But if I know my favorite artist, the biggest artist, Kendrick, is going to be performing, or this one, you're going to watch. But those artists are not performing.
Come on, piss colored DJ Envy, get out of here, man. All right, seriously, you know, like, what are you wearing, bro? I hate to have to get on you real quick. You know what I'm saying? I mean, roast or us. You call me up, we can roast. We can definitely do that. But yeah, shout out to him. Shout out to my man, DJ Envy, NBS. All right.
with the sponsorships.
Yeah, and he also talked about too. BET went through a huge round of layoffs recently as well too, and he talked about just the money being different over the BET has been at this for a very long time, and the money has been different. Placing advertisers is different as well too because of the things that you guys are talking about. I think across the industry we're seeing a lot of this, but I do think we're impacted a lot differently because the fight for money is different for us. Scott Mills talked about that when he was up here on the Breakfast Club as well. But yeah, I saw a lot of people upset yesterday and, kind of like, woe was us and we need these platforms, but people don't support
Give
those
the people
shows.
what they want.
People don't support
You know
those
what's so
shows.
crazy? They always act upset when something is gone. But when it's here, you defecate on it every chance you get. When it's on, you trash the award shows when they're on, and you say that the award show is trash and blah blah blah. But then when it's gone, you upset.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry, Charlamagne. The award shows are trash. Okay, they are trash, and that's because we don't have the same type of creativity. We don't have the same personnel with gifts, with talent and gifts that are able to the talent and gifts that are able to provide that type of magic that we once had. Okay, provide that type of magic that we once had. Sorry, it is what it is. It is what it is. Sorry, not sorry. But if we could do that, if we can get those that have the gifts, then we can bring back, that magic. We can bring back the flair. I'm pretty sure we will be able to.
And you know what?
You got to start. You got to stop treating your culture like it's disposable, but then get mad when it's disposed of.
We haven't been having a conversation about too with this whole CBS thing and the Skydance merger and all that is BT being over there, and a lot of their content is going to be heavily impacted too if what we see is actually happening with things being censored. They in the article, Gail Mitchell asked Scott Mills about that, and he.
All right, Lola Rosa, I love you, but man, you talk a lot. Seriously, you're not really saying anything. So let's move on. All right, we know what it is. It is what it is. All right. It's pretty much that. Now, I want to segue. If you read what the title of this is, all right. I want to segue because now this is a great opportunity for the Source Awards. Look at that. Now, you guys know that.
Y'all, it's Benzino. And right now,
Here we go.
we on set of my new video. But I didn't bring y'all here for that. I brought y'all here today to check out the 1994 through 1999 Best of the Source Awards. That's right, you heard it, the Best of the Source Awards. I'm bringing you all the hottest clips from, I'm talking like Bone Thugs together. I'm talking that whole Death Row camp, Bad Boy, Biggie, Pop, it's crazy. But listen, sit back, go get something to drink, some popcorn, because I'm about to take you on a journey through hip-hop that you won't forget. Only where the Source Magazine can do it. Come on, y'all.
Yeah.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Source Award. Put your hands together, y'all.
The Source Award is proud to be debuted for the first time anywhere.
Yeah. Welcome to the Source Hip Hop Music Awards. LA
The
in the
music
house.
was real. When the whole pop and circumstance,
Preparation is
the whole
immense.
culture, the whole everything was real.
Must work together to produce art.
Real. Who you with?
Oh my God. Look at all these men.
His homeboy is still
Everybody from the culture. Look at this. These guys were hosts,
looking up, man.
comedians. They all came out.
Tonight
the world is in the house.
Hey, yo, check this out. Let me tell y'all who the winner is.
And the winner is...
And the Source Awards goes to...
Yeah.
Huh? You know what happened? Poke it, nickel.
All right. So look, I'm gonna take a pause for the cause on that real quick, and I'm gonna say this: is that right now? Well, you guys know my history. I worked for the Source for about 5 years. Shout out to Londale, gave me an opportunity, allowed me to be able to take up space in the Source. And shout out to all my teammates who served with me over those 5 years. It's still the Bible of hip hop, regardless of what you say, all right, still the Bible of hip hop, cemented. That has to be earned. Okay, it's not just a popularity situation. So Complex and Double XL, shout out to Double XL though, just Complex, and all the other magazines out there, throughout the years. The source is still the Bible. All right, can't take that away. But this is a great opportunity for that to happen right now. A great opportunity, and I hope that you guys will hear me out on this. So the Source Awards started in '94. All right, Ray Benzino and Dave Mays owned it back then. They started something because the other award shows weren't really giving us the time or the time of day to really broadcast, the awards, the speeches, all of that, So we said, hey, let's go ahead and have our own award show for hip hop by hip hop. Yes, the Source Awards. Now, many historic events happen at the Source Awards over the years. More notable, Andre Benjamin getting up there telling everybody that the South got something to say. Also, Suge Knight and Danny Boy up there saying, if you don't like executive producer all up in your videos, come to death row. Also, Puffy coming right back up there and saying, hey, I'm the executive producer that was mentioned by the videos, but regardless, we bad boy, we love everybody, want everybody to win. And then Snoop later on with a machete. Bad boy, New York ain't got love for Snoop. Oh, yeah, so many memorable moments happen at the Source Awards. Right now is the perfect time, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because the Source Awards is the Source, first of all, Black owned, responsibly Black owned. Londell McMillan, do your work on him. Even though Jay-Z shouted him out, this man has been doing God's work in the music industry for years. All right. He has a moral compass that he wants the best for us. He wants the best presentation for us, that I'm without a doubt confident that this will be represented in the best way possible. It won't be a clown show. It won't be a nigga minstrel. None of that. All right. It won't be a hood fest. None of that. This will be a great show. 2, the staff, the team that he brings up are people from that era who had the serious vested interest, the lifelong vested interest in hip hop, that will make sure that this is a great show and that the pairings, the performances, everything is going to be on point. Everything is going to be on point. Also, the relationships. This guy got relationships with everybody. Everybody. I'm pretty sure you guys heard Jay-Z, shout him out on that 444 album that came out about 10 years ago, because he owns the rights, or not owns, but he is the executive executor over the Prince, the Prince executive estate. All right. So everything that goes through, if you want to get Prince's music paid or played, yeah, you got to go see him, as well as Havoc and as well as Prodigy. But regardless of all of that, it'll be a great show because you have people who are bona fide, people who have put the sweat equity in. And not just because they just popular on Instagram, or they got a fat booty, or they look good, or this and that, the other, or they came up with one little ratchet group that made it a hit for a nice little record and everything, and now they got the golden key, the Willy Wonka golden ticket. No, we're talking about people who have put time in, work, created some of the best properties and events and shows and albums, throughout history. That's why it would be a great idea. That's why it would be something that, you guys would definitely want to watch. Now, I know for a fact that the Source Awards has been putting together plans to make a reemergence. That's all I would give right now, but there have been plans made. There have been many conversations. And I think right now, if Londell is listening to me, if he can hear, I just texting that I was live on this. If you can hear me, Londell, right now is the perfect opportunity for the Source Awards to come back and take over this whole situation. It not only will be a breath of fresh air, a sight for sore eyes, but it'll always also be a way to regain its prominence in the music industry, in hip hop specifically, as well as to be able to, set the record straight and be able to put key people back in position to make history again. Notice I said key people back in position to create history, because we lost those people who have that flair, who have that natural ability, that natural talent to make magic, by creating these landmark shows. If you look at popular culture right now, everything is pretty much a rerun of everything we made back in the 80s and 90s, my era. Everything that you guys are listening to is a remake from 80s and 90s. That's it, from the shows to the clothes, everything, the beats, the records, all of that is all really 80s and 90s swag. I can't even say the early 2000s. This is 80s and 90s swag. These records are being cut. You're taking snippets of these monumental records, even the B-side records. You're taking snippets from them as well, because this new generation doesn't know what true artistry means. They don't. They had the Fruity Loops pack and they went to work. Or they just started talking about anything, and you guys were such out there not even listening to the words they're saying, but it just sounds silly because you didn't have to put any brain cells together to understand it. You just down with the cat in the hat, and they just, oh, okay, yeah. No, that's not how music was supposed to be. There's a responsibility when it comes to music. The responsibility is that, you're supposed to enlighten, entertain, and inform. All right. When Lauryn Hill came out with that monumental album, she got me right here because I was going through something at that time and I was able to relate. Nowadays, I don't know what I can relate to. When it comes down to it, what can we relate to? Nothing. I ain't never shot nobody. Never even wanted to really, go murk somebody, Never. I don't get it. And then, these dudes talking, the way they talking, they sound so rapey. They sound so rapey on these records. So rapey. I'm pretty sure y'all gonna call me the angry old man, but no, I gotta keep it 1000% real because I'm so sick of what I'm seeing and hearing. I used to get excited to get new records, new albums, new singles, hear and see new artists coming out. I saw something that L.A. Reid just put out the other day, some new R&B dude. He looks like a tall, goofy remake of carbon copy remake of Chris Brown. Come on, LA, bro. You just trying to put out anything, bro? Like, come on. You from Cincinnati too, man. What's up? I mean, this guy just looked like a tall, goofy carbon copy of Chris Brown. What are we doing? We trying to just create Chris Browns on the assembly line? We gonna have a dark one next? This dude is tall. He looked like he about the same size as Chris Brown. Maybe he might be a 7-footer. He probably missed his chance for the NBA draft. He's out here dancing and whatnot, doing more dancing than singing. What are we doing? What happened to? Man, I know I'm getting off topic. This rant has been brewing for a while, as you can tell. I've been waiting to get on here. I'm testing my equipment out, trying to make sure that my whole setup is good. But I've been waiting to go ham on this. I have. And the Source Awards will be such a great idea because it will allow us to be able to take control of the culture again, at least for that 2 hours that the awards are on. It will allow us to be able to set a quality control standard that we're not going to allow just any old boo-boo to fool and BS to get up on national TV and make us look even more silly. A Source Awards show is going to make sure that we pair and give those legends who did it before and paved the way their flowers. A Source Awards show is going to make sure that we pair those legends of yesteryear with the up and coming aspiring legends of today in a very unique way, unique and thoughtful way. A Source Awards show will bring back the nostalgia of when hip hop was really, really, really good. Beats popping, lyrics on point. They didn't waste no bars. Shout out to the Clips. I think it'd be a great idea because now with this whole conversation going about real bars, real artistry, real MCing coming back, what other way will we be able to usher that back in than by a Source Award, a quotable? Come on, man, it's time to come back. Londell, are you listening, sir? Are you listening? Hello, hello, McFly, are you listening? McMillan, are you listening? It's time to bring back the Source Awards. You heard it here first. So I will say that BET has had a long run, and you saw that BET went down in the early 2000s when they changed ownership. And then they started allowing certain people to run BET that really didn't care about quality control or the presentation or the imagery that they were producing or showing on TV. I know that they had BET Uncut. I'm sorry, I did like that. I was a sinner back then, and now I've repented of my sins. So now I don't watch certain things like that anymore on purpose. But I could see that it was just turning into something that Bob Johnson probably wouldn't approve of. Now, BET has become Tyler Perry TV. It has become Baby Boy Central and Rerun Alley. So there is no surprise here on why the BET Awards is canceled. I'm pretty sure that the lack of ratings, the buffoonery, just came to a head. Plus, I'm pretty sure you have all of those DEI hires that are just without a brain cell, like, oh, let's put together Gladys Knight and Sexy Red for a duet. Let's give Glorilla the Gospel Album of the Year award. Come on, man. Somebody should have been able to be a gatekeeper to say, no, that's not right. No, we don't need to do that. We don't need to do that. But either here or there, this rant has been brought to you by the A&R Report. My name is Barry Bonds, and I'm going to be coming to you guys more frequently. Now I have my little setup, and I'm ready to talk now. Before, I wasn't really ready to talk. I didn't have too much to say. I was just observing, being a voyeur of the industry and of the culture. But now that the culture is going to complete shit and trash, I have to speak out about it. I have to say something because I was active during a time of excellence, during a time of very brilliant individuals that were in charge of making sure that hip hop and Black culture stayed on the path to greatness. I was taught by very brilliant individuals, brilliant, and I appreciate that. So it's only right that the reins, the influence comes back to those who are naturally trained and taught, who are naturally talented, who have natural ideas, pure ideas to make sure that you enjoy what you're seeing. Now, as we watch a lot of our legends take a fall, do the coochie. Shout out to Puff. I think that being able to gatekeep a little bit of this raunchiness will allow us to get back on track to where we need to be. I think that no holds are barred right now because we have people who are just unresponsible, people that have no integrity, that have no morals, and just allow whatever to go because it's just, hey, if I can make $1 off of it, let's make it. Let's make it happen. It's not about that. Don't sell your people out or the culture out just for the dollar. We're going to make the dollar because the culture is what makes everything move. If you haven't been paying attention, the culture is what makes everything move. You can't go any commercial. I just watched a Cheerios commercial with Soul to Soul. Back to life, back to reality. Like, okay, who y'all got up there in the marketing offices, or what marketing agency, just hired that black dude or that black girl? It can't move without us. So all we have to do is use it the right way, responsibly. And I do believe that if we use it responsibly, God will bless us and we'll be able to move forward in a better manner, setting better influences and better examples, because nothing but rap music in today's culture created the YN or the thotty body. So I'm going to end this here. I know I don't want to come off preachy, but today is Sunday and I had to give this sermon. But, I'm asking that you guys think about that. The Source Awards. The Source Awards is a better, what should I say? It is a great, I can't even say replacement because the Source Awards is trash. It is the best opportunity right now for the Source Awards to come back now that BET Hip Hop Awards is gone. We can do so much more with it. You know what I'm saying? Neil McCain, what's good, bro? I got my first viewer here. I've been out here ranting and whatnot. Bro, I'm talking about the Source Awards. Why BET Awards was canceled and the Source Awards could possibly make a comeback and be able to be even better and more prominent than before, because whoever was creating and producing the BET Awards was brain dead. They didn't have any talent. Only thing they knew was popular culture and ratchet culture, and let's mix it together, put a little bit of rap on it, a little thottery on it, and boom, let's see what happens. That's pretty much what it was, But I'm telling you, if we can get back to, real deal talent and artistry, I think we'll be a lot better. Our music will be better. We'll have superstars again. We haven't created any studio. What was the last superstar that came out? The last superstar. I can say Sexy Red, but I mean, she was just popular because of gonorrhea and Booty Hole Brown. Like, who gets famous because of that? You know what I'm saying? Like, when you say, well, how do you know about Sexy Red? Oh yeah, she came out with she said my booty hole brown. Is that a quotable? I mean, I'm asking somebody in the back. Tell me, is that a hip hop quotable? Is that what we're doing nowadays? We got gonorrhea lip gloss. Is that what we're doing? Doo-doo brown lip gloss. Put some doo-doo on your lips. Is that what we're doing? We wearing shiesties in 90-degree weather. What are we doing? It is what it is, man. It is what it is. But yeah, if I were you guys, please do me a favor. Like, share, and subscribe to this channel if you want to hear more truth about hip hop. I'm going to be interviewing people. I'm going to be going on the streets. I'm going to be going live a little bit more often now that I have my setup, know how to do it, all of that. And I have something to say, all right? Because before I didn't really have nothing to say. Also, I want you guys to hit up I want you to hit up Londell McMillan. Hit him up on Instagram and tell him, say, look, dude, you need to bring that hip hop award back, that Source Hip Hop Awards back, because right now is a perfect opportunity. You know what I'm saying? And I hate to put you on blast, Londell, but I'm sorry, I gotta put you on blast, Playboy. I got to, because I need you to understand. I need you to. Hold on. Here we go. This him right here. All right. You see that? Make millions, make million. That's him right there. But yeah, I need y'all to do that for me. All right. Other than that, like, share, and subscribe, and I'm out. Hello.